There. So the lady has said, recording in progress. So we are ready to record. Okay, so this is all about my new program it's called Metabolic Balance. I haven't really defined my own name, but the company is called Metabolic Balance. I am the holistic nutritionist that is executing the program. Yeah, I'm kind of playing around with names, Master Your Metabolism Method, Metabolics Method, something like that. Anyway, and I'm going to tell you about it. So this program it's mainly a weight loss program, but it also works to lower inflammation. So some people can do the program just to help improve their health and lower inflammation without having a weight loss component to it. So there is two ways that you can do this. So weight loss, number one, lowering inflammation for sure is a benefit of the program. So the foundation of the program is it's a personalized meal plan based on your unique blood values. And when I say blood values, I don't mean like food sensitivity blood values. I don't mean that. So I mean that the blood values are taken are based on any kind of factors that would play into metabolic disease. So when we think of things like heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So the blood values taken they're looking at your like your cholesterol, your triglycerides, looking at your blood sugar, looking at your liver enzymes, looking at your kidney function, looking at lymphatic function, looking at your red blood cells, your white blood cells. So really detailed blood work. And the way that I describe this is that if you if you see these news articles that come up on social media or in a magazine, like blueberries are a high antioxidant and you should include them in your diet. And that article is based on a research paper. So the research paper has been done and they find that blueberries can help help increase your antioxidants. But what this plan does is it actually looks at your blood values to see if those blueberries are a good fit for you. So would blueberries really benefit you based on your blood values? So that's how personalized it is. So really personalized. And then also it goes into your personal information. So, if you're on any medication, we have to take that into consideration. If you have any joint pain, if you have any allergies, like external allergies or outdoor allergies, any skin issues, whatever else you're dealing with goes in, gets sent to a panel of doctors to look at. And then as well as your food preferences. So if we go through your food preferences and you're like, I just am not doing beef, I don't do beef. So we take beef off the table. So your plan's going to come back and there's going to be no beef on the table in that plan. So it's really personalized for you. And it's the exact natural foods that will help you reach your weight loss goal. So it's really, really, it's a really, really cool program. I got into this program because there's a lot of my holistic nutrition colleagues that run this program and have had amazing success with their clients. And I was going to sign up with one of them and do the program myself with one of them. And I thought, no, I'm just going to do it on my own and see what happens. So, and then I was, blown away by the results. So anyway, it is 100% natural. So there's no supplements, there's no pills, there's no shakes, there's no proprietary foods that you have to buy. It's just food. It's just all food. That you can buy from your grocery store, that you can get from your garden, that you can get from the farmer's market. So which is great. Now, having said that, sometimes your blood, when you get your meal plan back, there may be a supplement recommendation. So on my meal plan, because my blood seemed to be acidic, it wasn't, so all of our blood should be alkaline, but I was kind of hosting an acidic environment based on what I was eating. I was eating too much meat for me. So I was creating a little bit of an acidic environment. So the recommendation came back that I should do a pH balance supplement to help bring down the acidity. So that was the recommendation. So you might get something like that, but I haven't seen anything else come up yet. So anyway, the lovely thing is it's just about food, which is wonderful. So this is how, oops, sorry, I went too far. This is how it works. oops, sorry, just give me a second. Okay, sorry. I had to just look at something. Okay, so this is how it works. So you get a requisition from me to go get your blood work done. So I get the requisition from Dr. Ira Bernstein. So Dr. Ira Bernstein is the overseeing doctor for this program for Canada. So he writes the requisition for the blood work and then gives me permission to give it to you. So that's how that works. It's not the same thing as the Bernstein diet. So just so you know, there are two different things. So you go and you get your blood work done, and then I will receive a copy of that blood work. And then what I do is I take the values of that blood work, and I take your personal information. So we would have had a conversation and talked about, you know, what your goals are, what your starting point is, you know, all of the things I talked about. Do you have any allergies? Do you have any on any medication? Is there foods that you don't like? So that goes in. So blood values, your personal information, and then also your food preferences, which I just said. So that all goes in, and then that all gets sent away to a group of doctors in Germany, because this program is based out of Germany and has come across to Canada and US. So the doctors in Germany look at all of that information and they put together a plan, an individualized plan for you. So I don't create the meal plans at all. It is all created based on research, based on your personal information, but based on your blood work. And then we get the meal plan. And this is what my meal plan looked like. So you can see you will get 3 breakfasts, 3 lunch ideas, and 3 dinner options. And so if you look at mine, I had yogurt and fruit as one option. For another option, I had cheese and vegetables, fruit and bread, nuts and sunflower seeds, vegetables and fruit. So for some of you, you may be looking at this and going, that is a really big breakfast. So if you're not a big eater, this might be a lot of food for you. But again, it is specific to you. So these are my 3 breakfast options, and you can see there's weights here. So this is a really important part of this program, is to weigh your food to make sure you have enough. So just for an example, 170 grams of yogurt is about 3/4 of a cup of yogurt. And then I had about, I'd say about a cup of fruit. That was my ratio. So just to get an idea of how much food it is. So it's not like you're eating small amounts of food. You're actually eating decent portions of food, which is good. And then for lunch, I had legumes. So that's beans, vegetable, fruit, and bread. So I often make like a bean salad. So I'll put some, use some chickpeas, and I'll put in some onions and carrots and cucumber and have that and some spice, and have that for my lunch, and then have an apple with lunch, and some bread as well. And then my other option for lunch is an egg, starch, which I'm going to show you what that is, vegetables and fruit. And then lunch was chicken, vegetables, fruit, and bread. So pretty standard, meat, vegetable, fruit, bread. And the same with dinner: fish, vegetables, fruit, bread, meat, vegetables, fruit, and bread, and then tofu, vegetables, fruit, and bread. So pretty big, substantial meals. And we'll get into what the 5 thing is there in a little bit. So that was my meal plan. And then this was the option. So where it says vegetable, these were all my options for vegetables. Where it says starch, this was my option for starch. So these were my vegetable options that came back specific for me. So, and some things I eat regularly, some things I don't. So I enjoyed avocado, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, mushrooms, carrots. I had green beans, green bell peppers, green olives, cabbage, kale, parsnips, pickles, red cabbage, sauerkraut, shallots, spinach, Swiss chard, tomato, turnips, and zucchini. That's what I had quite regularly on this plan, because those are the vegetables that I like. Now, for me specifically, little note here, please eat tomatoes only twice per week. Probably because I listed joint pain as one of my symptoms that I was experiencing, and I know that tomatoes can cause some joint pain. And then avocado, so no more than 3 times a week. So I could have an avocado. Now, if you look back here, so 120 grams of vegetable, that's actually equal to a whole avocado. So when you start measuring out the food, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot of food, which is great, right? It's wonderful to actually be able to eat lots of food. When we get into this, sometimes this like diet mindset, it's like we have to eat less, we have to eat less, and this is the opposite of that. For my starch, I got a potato, but I could only eat my potatoes with the eggs and only twice per week. So again, based on my individual meal plan, this is what was suggested. And then for bread, I could do a crispy rye bread or a whole grain rye bread. And then here is my fruit list. So apple, apricot, blackberries, blueberries, cantaloupe, mango, nectarine, papaya, peach, plums, and raspberries. Now, these fruits are on the alkaline side, so bringing, again, my pH down based on me, based on my what my blood value showed. Other clients are going to have other fruits listed, other vegetables listed. The one that's going to stay the same for everybody is an apple, and that's one of our rules, but I'll get to that in a bit. And then my personal food list for protein. So all of those proteins that I listed there. So there's fish. For fish, lots of options here, but I had trout, tuna, and salmon. Those were the big ones that I had. For yogurt, now I chose on my plan not to do a dairy, not to do cow dairy, because I do feel like I have a sensitivity to it. So I took that off my list as a preference. If I kept it on, then I would have had, just cow dairy yogurt on here. So buffalo yogurt, goat milk yogurt, and soya yogurt. So I used a lot of the goat milk yogurt, which was lovely. My only nut choice was almonds. Here is my meat choice, beef fillet, ham, pork fillet. So I had some of this red meat because on my blood work, it came back that I was low in iron. So really trying to bump up those iron stores for me. My poultry was chicken breast and turkey breast. For cheese, I had feta, goat cream cheese, and sheep's cream cheese. And again, if I would have chosen dairy or like cow's dairy, I would have had another option there for sure. Legumes, this became a big staple for me because I had lots of options here. Black-eyed beans, chickpeas, I had a lot of kidney beans, I had a lot of, and white beans as well. I didn't really have any tofu. It's just because I had so many other options. I didn't have to, but it is an option here. And then my seeds were sunflower seeds, and then eggs. I could only have an egg. One egg, maximum of 2 eggs a week. So this wasn't a really very big lunch for me. And I tried it once and I was really, really hungry. So I just decided that I didn't want to do it again because I'd rather have all of these beans or, a beef fillet or a chicken breast instead of having just one egg. So that was my choice there. So let's get to the 8 rules. So while you are on this program, these are the 8 rules that we follow, and these are 8 rules that you could implement right now. And it's, you don't have to have a specific meal plan to follow them. But if you're thinking about doing this plan in the future, maybe these are the 8 rules that you start to apply now. So that way, when you start to do the program, you are ready to do it because you've already got these habits underway. Or just pick one, start with one and go from there. So a little bit different than what we're used to. So rule number 1 is only eating 3 meals a day, and don't eat any more or less than the plan suggests. So you can see from my plan, there's 3 meals here a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So just having those. And then the next rule is going to be you have to have 5 hours in between each meal. So we have large meals, but then we have that intermittent fasting. So if you've heard of intermittent fasting, and I've talked about intermittent fasting on lots of little webinars that I've done. So I'm a big lover of the intermittent fasting at night. So making sure you're fasting for 12 hours at night. Well, this program takes it a step further. And so instead of doing the 12-hour fast, we still do the 12-hour fast, but now we're fasting in between each meal. So 5 hours between each meal. This may be, some of you may do this already. This might not be a problem. This was definitely something new for me. I usually have an afternoon snack. So my body definitely had to relearn how to have a bigger meal at lunch. Like I was really full at lunch, and then learn to kind of live in that hunger for a little bit around the 4:30 mark before I ate. What I usually suggest to clients is start with your dinner. What time are you going to eat dinner? And then work your way back up. So it meant for me, I had to eat breakfast a little bit sooner. But like I said, I got used to it, and it's fine. And now that's just what I do. So yeah, so rule number 2 is 5 hours between meals. And then make sure your meal lasts no longer than 60 minutes. So you don't want to be eating longer than an hour. And this is, you know, if these are really big meals for somebody, this can give you an hour span to eat the food, which will help. But this also applies if you were out somewhere and it was more of like, here's an appetizer, here's your starter, here's your main course. So it gives you kind of an hour to eat have a time frame of an hour to eat that food if you're not in control of when the food comes. So rule number 4, another big one, is begin every meal with 1 or 2 bites of protein. So this is something that I've said a couple of weeks ago in my other webinar that I did to help balance hormones, to help balance insulin. So insulin is protein produces the opposite hormone to insulin. High amounts of insulin can wreak a lot of havoc on our hormones, the rest of our body. So by having these 2 bites of protein, it's telling our body to produce glucagon first over insulin, which is really going to help balance blood sugar. It's going to help balance hormones and help balance cravings. So another, this is definitely something that you can take with you to start practicing. So have your 2 bites of yogurt first, or have your 2 bites of nuts and seeds first, have your 2 bites of fish first. So just getting into that habit, right? Because if you're not used to doing this, then this could be something new for you to start doing. Okay, rule number 5 is be sure to only have 1 kind of protein. Oh, 2 people are waiting to get in, sorry. Admit. Just give me a second, I'm just getting people in. So the other rule is to only have 1 kind of protein at each meal, and then to have a different protein with each of your 3 meals. So we're just talking about variety. So if you have yogurt for breakfast, don't have yogurt for supper. So kind of mix it up. And the other thing is about mixing the protein is only having 1 kind of protein. So if we go back to my list here, so if I'm having a salad with chicken on it, I can't add cheese because cheese is a different kind of protein. So this is what it means by just keeping your protein separate. So again, if you're going to have a chicken salad, don't add cheese and don't add some chickpeas on top, because that's 3 different types of protein. So only 1 kind of protein per meal. And then rule number 6, after 9 p.m., no more meals. So no eating past 9 p.m., which is, that's not too bad. That's not unreasonable to ask. If you do eat a later dinner, then usually, I think most people are usually done around 8 o'clock if you do have a later dinner, but 9 p.m. because we want some fasting time over the night. And then rule number 7, drink the quantity of water calculated for you. So that's another thing that comes personalized with the plan, is how much water you should be drinking. Here is a rule of thumb: 35 mils of water per kilogram of body weight. So I came back with 2.25 liters of water, which is, I drink a lot of water. So that was no problem for me to get that water in. But so if you do that calculation for yourself, are you getting close to that amount of water? Are you drinking 2 liters of water a day? If you're not, is that something that you can work towards, is getting to that 2 liters of water a day at least? It'll be a little bit different for most of us, but most of us will be around that 2 liter mark. And then rule number 8 is to eat your fruit portion, including your apple, every day at the end of your meal. So kind of acting as a dessert is to have that fruit. And, really, this is just a fantastic rule. And for me, I was eating a very low carbohydrate diet. And I was almost in that mindset that I was kind of getting, not afraid, I was very apprehensive to have fruit because I didn't know how it was going to affect my blood sugar and affect my hormones. That's what I was worried about. But having that 5 hours in between the meals really helps stabilize the blood sugar. And it's so nice to have a piece of fruit after dinner. So one of the things in here, or after any meal, so one of the things in here include an apple every day. So this is part of the rules of this program, is to eat an apple every day. And you know, the saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And there is some truth to that. So there is a protein in apples. You have to have the apple with the skin on it, that that helps lower inflammation. It helps lower that histamine response that you get, that you can get to any food sensitivities or even outdoor sensitivities. So having an apple a day can help lower that histamine response. Plus, it's full of lots of nutrients, vitamins, and it's really great. Full of fiber, so really great fruit to have. Now, suggestion is to have an older variety of fruits, so something like a Granny Smith or a Macintosh, a Cortland and Ida Red. So that is an option that you can have for sure. Now, if you have a hard time with apples, you can steam the apple. So you can take the whole apple, you can steam it so it's a little bit softer to eat. You can slice it. You could make it into an apple sauce. You just don't want to cook it too much if you wanted to, but you have to keep the skin on. So those are the 8 rules that we follow, that I followed and other clients followed in the program. And then also part of the program are these 4 phases. So when you get your meal plan back, we would meet and go over, you know, phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is 2 days. And it is a detox phase. So if anybody's done the 10-day reset with me, and we have those 3 days where we just have smoothies and soups and we don't eat meat, this is what it is. It's basically just having like soups, vegetable soup, lots of vegetables. I couldn't even eat all of mine. It was like tons of vegetables, but a vegetable soup. You get breakfast, and then you have for lunch, you have a vegetable soup and apple, and then for dinner you have a vegetable soup as well. And plus it's also, there's a colon cleanse that comes with that. So when you do phase 1, you want to make sure that you are home for those 2 days, because you don't want to be at the office running to the bathroom. So that is phase 1, 2 days. And then we go into the strict phase, phase 2, and this is 14 days long. So during this phase, this is where you have to kind of treat this like a diet mentality. Like, here's my food list. I can't veer from this. I need to be strict, because this is where the conversion happens. So if you've been trying lots of things, and you feel like your hormones are working against you, if you feel like your metabolism has like slowed down, it's like going at a turtle's pace, this is where in these 14 days, this is where it gets fixed. And so it's important just to stay the course in these 14 days. Now, in these 14 days, you do see a big body change, a big body shift in your body. And it's great. It's wonderful to see that you're eating food and things are moving and things are changing. So it is a fantastic phase to be in. So after phase 2, 14 days. So it's really strict. We've got 16 days where we're strict. And then after that, we move into phase 3. And phase 3 is where we can start to reintroduce some more foods. So the foods that you love that weren't on your list, we can start to introduce those foods. You can also introduce a flex meal at this point. So flex meals are encouraged after phase 2 because it really helps. It helps your metabolism. So if we stay on the same path and we're not challenging our metabolism, then we can kind of go back to the way we were. So it's good to just have these flex meals, challenge our metabolism, so that way it knows if we eat more, we burn more. If we eat less, we burn less. So it's a really good idea to have the flex meal. So you have your flex meal, which is great. One flex meal a week. So you can plan that. If you're going to have a barbecue with a family, you plan it then, or maybe you just decide to go out for dinner one night with your partner, with a family or friend, and then you have your flex meal then. So have your flex meal, and then you go get back on track. Now, based on your weight loss goals, if we're close to your goals, we start adding, increasing the amount of food you eat. This is where I come in as your coach and help coach you through that. If you are still far away from your weight loss goals, then we may stick closer to like phase 2 so you can get to your goals. So again, it just depends for everybody. And then phase 4 is your maintenance phase. So we've gone through all the phases. We've figured out what we've lost weight, we've reduced inflammation, and we figured out what your body wants, what it needs, and you're set at your new body. So those are the 4 phases. So I took this program myself, as I said. I did really good from 30 to 40. I did really good, and I turned 40 and I went on an awesome vacation and I rocked my bikini. But then 41 and 42 and 43, 44. Anyway, the weight started to come on. I know the last year hasn't helped any because all of our lives have changed. And I was doing my own programs. So I was following like my 6-week slim down program. If you've done that with me, I've been following, the portions there. I do the 10-day reset. So again, I'm resetting every 3 months, and I would lose weight and then I would gain it back and lose it and gain it back. So there's kind of like this window where I would be at my near my ideal weight. And then I would gain it back. So I knew my hormones were off. I knew something is off, and I need to dig a little bit deeper, because I was getting worried because the weight just kept coming on, and every year it was a little bit more. And I'm thinking, okay, where am I going to be in another 2 years from now? Where am I going to be in another 5 years from now? I really need to figure out what's going on. And like I said, a lot of my colleagues were doing this program, so I decided to do it myself. So I lost 10 pounds in 4 weeks. I lost 8 pounds in those 16 days. And in the next 2 weeks after that, I had kind of tried to figure out, what can I eat? How much more can I increase my food and get to my goal? So in 4 weeks, I got to my goal. I'm really happy where I am right now. I'm back to my weight that I was when I turned 40. So I'm happy. I'm like so happy that I found this program, that I did it. And I'm happy that I have a roadmap that if things go out of hand, I can go back to that really strict phase and bring it back under control with the foods that are meant specifically for me. So here is another one of my clients. Her name is Penny. Well, I'm going to call her Penny. And her goal was to lose 10 pounds. So this is her weight loss journey. So May 14th, she started, and she was at 155. And, just to say, for those of you who are trying to lose the last 5 or 10 pounds, that those can be the most difficult pounds to lose. So the fact that you can start this program and lose those 5 to 10 pounds in a matter of 4 weeks, like that is really saying something, I think, anyway. So May 14th, she started. She did the cleanse for 2 days, and she dropped some weight in that first couple of days, 2.5 pounds in the first 2 days. Now you do have to weigh your food, and she had her scale on the wrong setting, so she wasn't eating as much as she should have in the detox phase. But anyway, we got it figured out, and everything was okay. So you can see day after day, she gets on the scale and she's down like half a pound a day. So fantastic. At the end of the 16 days, at the end of phase 2, she is 146.6. She is 1.5 pounds away from her goal in 16 days. Like, she is just ecstatic. She is so happy. And she can't believe this because this woman is 68 years old, in menopause, been holding on to this weight around her stomach for years and just couldn't shake it. And so she's just so happy to see that this change. So after 16 days, she can have her flex meal. So she has her flex meal, and then you can see this is how amazing your metabolism is with this program. She was 146.6 the day before. She has her flex meal, which is her cheat meal, and she goes up 0.2 of a pound. Like, her metabolism is working for her. It's just so amazing. And then we just continue to see that drop. So she's here. This was June 8th, yesterday, 144.6. Her original goal was 145. So she hit that goal in 3 weeks. And now she's like, okay, well, I want to lose another five pounds. Which I'm okay with as a practitioner, because one thing that we do is we measure your waist circumference. And, what I like to see for your waist circumference around your belly button is 35 inches or less. if there's a measurement of 35 inches or less, then I know that there is a very low chance of any metabolic diseases that could come up. It's when we have a waist circumference higher than 35 inches, we know that we're just susceptible to some of these metabolic diseases. So, you know, she hit her first goal, but her waist circumference was still a little bit high. It didn't quite hit the 35. So I think that it's for her health benefit to actually lose another 5 pounds, or at least until that waist circumference comes down. So yeah, so she's on her way. So yesterday she was 144.6. So you can see after the first 2 weeks, things start to slow down, but this is you know, more weight loss. Plus at this point, we've increased her food that she's eating, and she's also having her flex meals. So it's more realistic as to what's going to happen in everyday life. Okay, so those are, yeah, that's kind of went on with a couple of my clients and myself, which is great. So a couple of questions that have just come to me since I started this program, so I thought I'd answer them here. So some people ask, where do you get the blood work from and what are you measuring? So I touched on that a little bit. So I give you the requisition that comes from Dr. Bernstein, and we are measuring for all blood values that are indicators of metabolic disease. So that's what we're looking for. So it's not like a food sensitivity test, nothing like that's going to come up. It is actual numbers that come up for blood work. So if you do this program, question number 2, how long is the program? So the program is actually designed to be three months long. Whether you hit your goal in 2 weeks or whether it takes the entire 3 months, I am here as your coach, coaching you through this process for 3 months. And you know, if you needed to go longer, that's definitely something that we can talk about. But the program itself is 3 months long. We need to get through you know, phase 1, phase 2, and definitely get to phase 3 before we end our time together. Another question that comes up is, can you do a payment plan? So yes, I'm going to talk about that in the next couple of slides, but yes, absolutely, you can do a payment plan. There is a deposit that needs to be put down to pay for the blood work because OHIP doesn't cover it, and also to pay for your meal plan because that is specific to you. And then after that, payment plans can be made. Is it covered with benefits? So yeah, there are some benefit providers that will cover a lot of the work that we're doing. They, may cover the meal plan. They may cover the coaching calls with me. So something to definitely look into with your benefit provider to see if it's covered. I don't think that they'll cover the blood work. But again, you check with your benefit provider and don't dismiss this, right? This could be something that could be a gift to you by looking at through your benefits. What other bonuses or what other parts of the program are there? So for other parts of this program, I have a nutrition portal called Practice Better. Doesn't matter the name, but anyway, this is where you track, and this is where you and I would like converse daily. So I'm on there Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. So, I'm looking at what you're entering daily. I'm looking at your measurements. I'm looking at any other issues that may come up. If you have any digestive issues, if you had heartburn, if you had a bad night's sleep, I'm looking at, how the food is affecting you and how it's affecting your measurements. So it's a way that you and I can communicate every day. So I can be with you with your progress every day. And then also, so the other thing with this program is for the first 16 days, it is not recommended to exercise. It's not recommended to start a new exercise program. And if you do have a current exercise program that is really high intensity, the recommendation is just to take it down a notch. Your body, under any changes, is going to be dealing with stress. And so with a new meal plan, new ways of eating, like only eating every 5 hours, that could add stress onto your body. And then if we pile some exercise on top of that, it's just too much for your body. So the recommendation is not to exercise. If you already have an exercise program in place, go ahead and do that. We'll just have to monitor to see how you feel. But you can do some light walking and some light stretching, that sort of thing. But you really need to pay attention to how you feel over those 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, then you can start to exercise, and that's when I can offer you one of our online exercise programs if you want. If you want to do yoga or Zumba or stretching or strength training, there's lots to choose from. So you can join one of those as part of the program as well. And then the other question that comes up: what happens after the program if I need some more support? And that's we can work something out. There's also you can also sign on for my membership program, which will still allow you to use Practice Better, and then we can still converse back and forth. Or if you need more, we just work it out. So I asked a couple of clients, like, how has this transformed your life? And even for me, how has this transformed your life? So more energy. So besides the weight loss, that's great. But the question is why, why do you want to lose weight in the first place? What is that why? And finding that why and finding is going to help keep you motivated. So we lose the weight, but sometimes we get these other benefits that happen as well. So more energy. So if you are one that has low energy, you know what it feels like. It's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to get motivated to make change. It's hard to get motivated to go for a walk. So imagine waking up with more energy. You get out of bed, you've got tons of energy, you're ready to take on the day, you've got a to-do list, you get it all done, and you still have energy to spare. So that's the beautiful thing about balancing your hormones, is just being able to get you that more energy. Feeling more confident. This was me. This was really big for me. As I felt weight come on year after year, I was like, I don't feel as confident anymore in myself. So having a plan that works makes me feel confident as a practitioner, but it also makes me feel confident as myself. I put on, I invest in these fancy exercise clothes, and I feel confident putting them on, and I feel confident standing in front of a camera and doing my exercises in front of the camera. It feels better. And just imagine for yourself, if you feeling more confidence, like putting on these awesome clothes and walking down the street or walking into the grocery store, just having that confidence. Feeling like my hormones are working with me instead of against me. And I talked about that a little bit, just having your metabolism back in step and feeling like your hormones are actually working for you instead of against you, and knowing that you're on the right path to having those hormones working for you is amazing. Better sleep. So this is a big bonus that comes with this program, with the foods designed specifically for you, is your head hitting the pillow and going right to sleep, and then not getting up in the middle of the night, but being able to sleep through the night. So just imagining what your day is like if you always had a really good night's sleep. So going to bed, getting a nice deep sound sleep, waking up without your alarm clock, and waking up with more energy. Clothes fitting better. So in my circumstance, my clothes I was still wearing the same clothes. They were just tighter, and I was kind of poofing out over my clothes a little bit. So being able to put these clothes on and just have them actually fit better and look better on me was a really nice feeling. Somebody saying, wearing clothes I have not worn in a few years. So having those clothes in your closet that you are just waiting for the day to put them on, and then you put them on and you're like, I put these clothes on. I haven't worn this in years, and look at it, it fits. So such a great feeling. Not afraid to wear a bathing suit this summer. This was on my list. Like, again, with carrying that extra weight, putting on the bikini that I wore when I was 40 just didn't look as good. But now this year I'm like, yes, let's do it. And then feeling good about eating and no guilt around my flex meal. And that has been, that's just been a huge weight off my shoulders. The other night we had hamburgers, and I had it with a bun. So, and there was nothing, there was no change there. So in my weight, everything was fine because my hormones are working for me instead of against me. So it's just nice to not have the guilt. You could just eat and enjoy food, and it's okay. Okay, so the last slide, the investment for this program. So blood work plus the meal plan plus 3 months of coaching. The coaching is, we go through quite a bit of one-on-one coaching in the beginning, in the first week getting started, and then it's every 2 weeks after that, plus that one-on-one on Practice Better. So the cost is $1,200 plus tax. This is because I am contracted by another company to offer this program. That's the set point of this. That's the price of this program, and it can't be changed, unfortunately. So $500 deposit is needed to cover the cost of the blood work and the meal plan, and then payment plans are available, can be made over 2 months or 6 months. Like, I'm flexible. If you need 6 months to cover the cost of the rest of the plan, that's totally fine, because I just whatever you need to succeed, if you feel like this is the plan for you, it's the plan that you've been looking for to have the specific foods for you based on your blood analysis, based on your food preferences, and you want this, then I'm willing to work with those payment plans if you need to. So if you want to get started, we first have to have a phone call, because we need to see if this is a good fit, if this program is a good fit for you. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It doesn't mean we can't work together. I have lots of people just doing their own program with me because this one didn't fit in. So we can still make something work. It just may look a little bit different. So you can send me a message. There's my email. There's my phone number. You can text me. You can call me if I'm not with anybody. I'll pick up the phone and chat and see if this program is a good fit for you, or if you have any more questions about it. And okay, is there any questions? I didn't see any pop up. I'm just going to get a drink of water. We are quiet. So if there are no questions, I just want to say thank you for popping in and being a part of this and seeing what this new program is about. It is not a group program, it's an individual program. So you can start at any time. If it's something that you think you want to start right away, you can. Or if you're just interested in learning the 8 rules and get started on those, I really encourage you to do those. I think those are really the backbone of this program that can really help as well. So yeah, and if you have any other questions, even personal ones you wanted to ask, then I am, send me a message and I would be happy to answer them. But thank you for sharing your time with me. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. You are welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Heather, for watching.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Linda.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Tricia.
Tricia.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching.